All right, so I was thinking about this panel. I think what I'm going to do is, just to be safe, I'm going to run through and just do a quick guide coat on it and do a 220 sand just to make sure I don't have too many metal nibs or anything on it. And just then I'm sure I'll do one more coat of primer, just one over it, and then I'll just say that that's going to make it. I just feel a lot of waves in it, I don't want it to look that bad. And then these, I'm going to just go through and just fix a couple little spots. And I don't know if I'm going to reprime. I might just spot prime those areas. And then same up here. Do the same thing. I'll clean this up, finish up the couple areas that I missed on it, and then spot prime it, and maybe sand and do these areas, block these ones, because these didn't really get blocked. The areas where I did the transition. Let's go through and do those real quick, and then have that final primed. That'll be ready. And I still need to do a lot up here. I'm gonna have to work on this roof a bit. I may get this part in the video. We'll look at that now. That's what it looks like now. We'll get a little bit later and show you what it looks like. I'm gonna clean that up, and then maybe this will be ready for paint. And we'll see how far we get. Maybe this quarter is gonna get done and work on that. And then I got a lot of work to do here. Again, yeah, that's not very good. Half inch sticking out. That's not gonna work. So, yeah, I'll just get my ladder out and kind of play around with that, trying to bend that straighter somehow. Oh, this thing's just so bent. So anyway, I'll figure out, do this thing a little bit more, but I don't know if I'll get all that in the video. We'll see. I've got touch-ups here, little spot there, get this little thing here cleaned up. Maybe I'll just spot prime those areas, and I'll say that that's ready. And then have all this stuff all ready. Like I said, I'm going to have all this ready, and then we'll paint the inside at some point. Who knows what video this will come out on, but that's the plan, I think. And just keep going forward. I need to definitely guide coat and hit this one. I saw some dents in it when I sanded it, from the spot welding when they built it. So I'll clean all that up. It won't look bad. This thing's actually going to turn out pretty nice. I mean, it's not going to be that bad. We'll see how this door looks right here. That'll be the clincher, right? All right. We'll just keep going. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. All right, let's take a look here. Oh yeah, this stuff just lays down, man. I'm getting better at spraying this stuff. There is no orange peel in that at all. Nothing. It did get a little bit of dieback. Again, that's because I over-thinned my base a little bit, and I also used 220 final sand, so you're going to get some dieback with that because of those reasons. This means shrinkage, not fully as shiny as it should be. And again, that's because I'm going to polish it anyway, so I don't care. That's a way, it's much easier to sand it with 220 and go over it. She recommends, I think, 600, but nah, this is just fine. Yeah, just a little bit of dullness, and that's not, again, the product. It's because over thinning a little bit does that, and also the 220 sanding scratches. It's just going to shrink down into those suckers, and I'll just sand it and polish it, and it'll be easy, real easy to do. Let's do some more stuff. Alright guys, we're running out of daylight here. Well, got a little bit left. I don't know, maybe I'll do a little more filming, but I'm not sure. So I got that, kind of like that, I guess. That's not too bad. It's not going to shut on the bottom edge perfect. I don't know, wherever that panel, something's not right there. Could be like this thing isn't curled correctly. I don't know. It's just been through hell. So anyway, I'll probably find a happy medium there, and I'll get one of those latches I was just looking at. I figured out how to make it, so come back for that one. I'll show you how to make a latch for one of these. You have to give out $200, $250 or whatever they want, whatever they feel like charging on the Samba for one of those. So yeah, I got a bit more sanding to do here. I got all this to sand here. Again, it's not quite ready. Let it dry a little bit longer. I got a little bit touch-ups back here I got to do. Those are almost ready to go. I don't think I'll have them ready for primer today, so that's why I figured we will have to come back for that. Because I'll show you why real quick. Well, I've been working on this car, and so you can see it's back on the ground, but does that just mean it's done? No. These cars have a mind of my own. This thing is, oh man. I got it all done. Well, I got it all in. Let me back up for a second. This is the trans that I bought, a used one, and found out that inside, well, I have no idea how this happened. Anybody have an idea? This would be interesting to know. Inside here was all the plastic, and this thing didn't look like it's been on fire. I mean, it's still got all this stuff on it. It looked like it was connected to that to that motor that was in here. There was just all this plastic. See, that's plastic, melted plastic inside the whole bottom of the transmission. So anything, and I looked inside, like the bearing, you know, like how the bearings have a little retainer. All the retainers, everything's melted inside this transmission, and everything had fallen to the bottom in a big malted thing, and the transmission was frozen. I thought it was like alarm type thing that makes it lock up. On this one, I wasn't sure in the coating or something. So I put it in the car, and sure enough, it wouldn't turn over. So I had to take this trans back out and put my other trans back in. Here's my old engine. I think the engine is actually good, but the turbo's shot. Look at this. Look how loose that guy is. It just moves all over the place. It's wiggle, 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 wiggle. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's wiggling all over. Turbo's wasted, but the bottom end I think is okay. I could have probably just put the turbo on it. And I was starting to go and program the injectors and to do I don't know what it's called for the transmission. You have to reprogram the transmission as well. It's a bunch of different things you do. Adaptation to the new transmission. So I put new clutches in mine is what I think was wrong with it. And I'll be putting more videos up on TDI for this stuff because people are always looking for how to fix these things. And I put it all on the car, and I went ahead and went with the alternator that was on that one because the engine, I think, had lower miles. It's supposed to have. Came out of a car with lower miles. I saw the pictures of the car. I did not see the car. He had already taken it out of it. So I was a little bit, you know, kind of on the edge when I got it. I was kind of in a tight spot. I drove a long ways to get it. So I just went ahead, well, I'll pick it up. I know the turbo is good on this one. So I figure the engine probably is okay. I hope the transmission is, and it wasn't. But I paid a very cheap price for it anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. But I put the one in with the existing alternator, and now I started up. And it actually runs. I got it all together again. I mean, this is a lot of work. You guys have no idea, unless you've worked on one of these late models. So it fires right up, except for runs. Of course, the engine light's still on because I haven't programmed anything yet. And the battery was dead a minute ago. And the battery light came on. So it tells me that the alternator is probably no good that's on the engine. So let me tell you, check this out. All right, this has literally been going on for months. Look at where the alternator is when it's in the car. Yeah. Like buried. You got to take everything out. And I couldn't test it beforehand because the air conditioning system on these TDIs, if you've never worked on before, they constantly have flow going on. And what they do is they have a pressurized, you know, to run the air conditioning, it has a little valve, and the valve pressurizes. Instead of, you know, most of your cars have a clutch, and the clutch engages and disengages. So you can have your belt on. I couldn't have the belt on when I was testing it So I tested it before, of course, before I got done, to make sure that I had all the oil leaks and everything. There was no oil leaks and all that. Transmission, you know, I couldn't put it in gear, but I, you know, wanted to make sure there was no leaks and stuff like that. And the alternator is bad. So, you know, in order to do it, there's a couple different things. I was looking at one guy, he said, take off of this thing here, the flapper and this thing and all this stuff, and then take it out the front. I think it's almost easier to do service mode, and just take off the front end. Because taking off all that stuff right there in that spot and then loosening up the air conditioning, maybe, I don't know. But I'll probably put a new one on it. I don't know. I'm scared to get a new one too, right? Because you never know if they're bad. All this made in China garbage. You never know. Who knows? Even made in Germany, it might be made in Germany, but it's actually, you know, not really. You know, reboxed in Germany, you know, made in China, but reboxed in Germany. Who knows? But anyway, I did get it back together, and I am not done. So I got to take it back out. Take the front end back off. I think in order to do it, you have to take the fans out. You have to take the, you know, all this stuff out, and then weasel everything out the front. I don't know. Maybe it might be easier just to take these out, take the one fender, a couple different, the front fender wells out, and then take the 8 bolts off the front end and just pull it away, and then reach my hands in there, pull it out, put it back in. I don't know. I might do it that way. Just because all this stuff is so finicky. Trying to get in there with your hands. Trying to undo all 3 of those bolts. Not easy. When it's not in service position, service mode. So anyway, that's what I've been working on as well as working on the Steiger. Been working on this thing. I got a mess over here. I'm trying to get cleaned up. I thought I was going to be done today, and that's kind of the way it's gone. You know, I've got to put it in, and I think it's going to be, you know, fine. Put it together, start it up, big old oil leak, put it back together. You know, I've had a couple of those things, problems. You know, it's just not been good luck on a lot of things on this car. And they're just really hard to work on, these TDIs. I don't know. I wish I probably wouldn't have started on it, but then again, I just don't want to give my money to the California government, because all I do is collect taxes on diesel. I mean, gas and diesel, and this thing gets really amazing gas mileage. Probably get up to about 47 miles a gallon when I'm done with some of the modifications I'm doing to it. That's at 75, not at 60. You know, you guys can get 45, 47 miles a gallon at 60 miles an hour, but who can afford to drive at 60 all the time? So anyway, I've been working on that. That's been part of the problem. I've been able to just keep working on this, and that I just thought I was done. And now I gotta pull all that off and change the alternator. But I'm hoping that right now I can actually, right before dark here, I can program my injectors and do the transmission adaptation if the battery is up enough. That's the whole issue. I don't know if it is. I don't know how much battery it needs to do that, because it wouldn't do it before, and in fact I turn off the engine and it wouldn't restart. So it's a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, we're gonna just keep going with this, guys, and I better get my gas cap covered up. Somebody's gonna say something about that, right? Yeah, a little bit of dust in there wouldn't hurt anybody. So I put fuel filters on. There, that's what you don't do when you have a car. Don't put a rag in there. You ever seen one catch on fire? Yeah. No, don't do that. That's just temporary for this anyway. So we'll get back on sanding this thing here, and probably the next video I'll probably get up. Probably have a lot of this done, and then I don't know, maybe I don't think we'll be painting anything. I still got to do the roof. I really need to do all of this drip edge and clean it all up and all that stuff here before I do the roof, before I paint the inside and the roof. Have that all done. But I just thought, while I'm working around, I'm just going to come around here. And we got all of our parts in the storage, Westy. Great place for stuff. I got the storage Westy out here for right now. And we'll get back working on this. As soon as I get this thing painted, everything painted, and kind of put it together a little bit, I'm going to be doing the seats on this one. And I'm thinking about just doing them all myself. And the seat for the Steiger over there. That is the front seats for the Westy. I have them. want to get them done and put them inside. But I want to clean out all the garage and then do them at the same time and do this one here. Sew them up myself, maybe, hopefully. See if I can do it. I don't know. I got to go check with my upholstery supply. Well, the owner actually passed away. Guy I know for a long time. So I don't know. He got COVID. He had cancer before, and it just immediately took him out. And right before that, he actually sold the business because they were doing so badly during the. I heard, you know, they were doing badly. I don't know. I haven't been over there, but I just heard from someone else. So hopefully he's wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's right. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Let's like, share, and subscribe. See what you guys have to say. Check those comments. Make sure you like a few of them. It helps a lot when you guys do that. I see some of you guys are catching on and doing that. Check those other comments and give them a like or whatever. That interaction, for some reason, that and the likes on the video really put it higher in the people being able to find it, and then they can find my channel, subscribe or whatever, and we start getting more action going on, because I really would like to make this channel to 100,000 subscribers. I was hoping to do that within the last year, but it didn't happen. Talk to you in the next one.